Hi guys, Josh. Another trail cam day. Do have to say though, after last week's, how does that old song go? The heat is on. The heat is on. Yeah, rut definitely is flying after last week. Definitely warmed up again after last week. Just as we were walking up here, we just flushed a deer. Big old deer too. So, already good sign. I'm actually seeing movement. I'm actually seeing deer out and about this week. What it looked like when we flushed that one is he came right up this dirt, little pathway up and over. And over. Which tells me good things. Deer are starting to move back into this part more. Public land, like I said, can always be a little more of a challenge. Usually a lot more walking. But yeah, barely be in, and I'm already flushing deer out. Definitely a good sign. So we'll see what's going on here, and then we'll get back to you. So yeah, pushed that one already. We're just kind of exploring some more of these backwoods here quick. I don't expect to see a whole lot pushed out today because it is midday and it's plenty warm. It's 60s. Little bit of a breeze, but it wouldn't shock me one bit if we see something popping. Just like that one that popped up as we were coming in. They can be quick little sightings. That one just happened to pop up early, but who knows? Do I think there's something out here? Absolutely. Do I think it's the numbers that were 10, 12 years ago? No. I think I was losing part of their whitetail population, and I think Iowa's starting to get more and more of the very large bucks. But who knows? We'll see. Just what I want to show here is how once all this stuff starts dying away, you start to see all these paths. There you go. Clear as spell. Damn near straight line of just open trail path. Alright, I'm gonna talk strategy here. Ideally, I would love to see a wind out of the west if I'm gonna hunt this. That west opens up into all that, or I want it coming from the north. I want it blowing down. I want it north wind coming from here this way, or I want west wind coming in this way. That is ideally what I want. Come December. From early trail cameras, what I'll end up doing is probably parking. It depends if I run one guy or two. Let me say that. If I'm running one guy, I'll probably park in where I normally do and come the long way around. If I'm running multiple guys, I might start a guy out on the road there, out there, edge of the tree line, the roadway there, and have them walk in that south side right before sunrise. But another deer standing on the far side there. Standing on the far side of those trees. But yeah, that's the plan if I hunt that south side. It depends if family comes out or if I'm gonna hunt it solo. Which reminds me, I gotta look and get all the field gutting stuff cleaned out, cleaned up, ready to rock. Again, now the ground is pretty solid, but you can still see these are fresh. This is fresh track right here. Another one there. There's two more. I mean, two fresh over there. I mean, this definitely has deer beyond the couple I've seen. One, it's middle of the day. I try to push middle of the day just because typically they don't push as far. out here during the day. Typically, now that it's rut season, though, they'll come out more and play during the day. Big, you can see the trail path there that comes up here. You can see it branch off over here where it popped up, where I think that other deer popped up. But that's tall grass. That's 6-foot grass, and water's right there. It's everything they need in a little bitty hole. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if there's multiple in there and just hunkering down. It's tall grass. While it looks close, that's honestly 300 yards away. But walking distance, we've probably walked a half a mile to get back here, if not closer to a mile. Just how this trail winds. Watching this here, this is a massive travel path. What we'll do, and I do this a lot hunting if I'm pushing. I'll walk 100 feet and then I'll just stop for a second or two. Take a breath. At least for me, doing that kind of walk through, push through like that, where every so often you just stop, take a breather. And it doesn't have to be very long. It can be literally 2 or 3 seconds. It just spooks the deer enough to where they'll push themselves. But let's take a look, see what's out here on cameras. We're going to change up rotation just a little bit on how we do it. But up on that north side now, I still think this is going to be the bigger area to push through. Just looking through, you can just see all these undercurrents and all these underpaths that are cut through. Would not surprise me as we're pushing through some of this stuff today if we flush more than just the couple we have. Massive trail. This is deer. This screams deer. See it? Nice wide path. Nice wide path, about 10 feet back, 10 yards. Does a hard left turn. So, I mean, not hard to see why this would be well-used travel path. I had to take a look at this tree right here, because it sure as hell looked like from a distance there was a tree stand in it, but it was pretty thin tree. It's not a tree stand, it's just natural tree branch falls. But it's how easy some of this can be mis-ID'd. Alright. What we're looking to do here Besides, check the trail camera that's right there. We just want to move a couple of branches here, give ourselves a little bit wider pathway. Just take a look back here, make sure nothing's popping its head out. Like I said, during the day, I don't expect it. Not yet. Give it another couple weeks. If we get cold weather and snow like they're talking for Thanksgiving week, I could see this getting really, really busy really, really fast. Because this will become a massive trail path. The only problem is shooting this way is going to become very difficult just because there's a lot of trees in there. Bow hunter's dream. Gun hunter, yeah. I don't know. But just gorgeous back here. Alright. While I'm shocked we're not seeing more deer, can't say shocked, it is middle of the day. More often than not, from about 10 to about 2, deer will duck down around here. Normally. Not always, and there's, as winter starts, you'll see that time frame shrink and where they'll be out more and more. But I'm not exactly shocked nothing's out, but at the same time I'm kind of shocked what little is out. Warm day like today, kind of figured you'd see more, if for no other reason other than them crews in the woods. But I'm going to show you here, that wind's really starting to pick up a little bit here. So, I don't know. Not really sure what's going on. So, we'll take a look at trail cams and see. I mentioned this little bowl back here pretty early in the season, but it was really high grass then. Now you're starting to see that grass die down, some of that water push in, but you're really starting to see what I think is going to pull a lot of deer. We might have a deer watching us. Still a little bit early to really see clear through some of this stuff. But that's about the third or fourth time I've heard a little deer snort. And second time I thought I saw one pop. You never know. You really don't. Public ground is always a lot more hit and miss. But just looking at that grass there, and even across the way, there's a lot of traffic coming through. So, I mean, everything in my head is screaming this north side is going to produce this year. Everything in my eyes on my trail cams is screaming this north side has got some monster deer. But at the same time, this north side is screaming it's going to be a challenge. So, we're just gonna look back in there. I know there's guys bow hunting back in here. I just don't know where exactly they're hiding out at, and I've never been able to find them early enough in the day to catch them, to talk with them. Hey, let's work together. Bow season does shut down during Iowa shotgun seasons. It's called shotgun for us old guys, but it technically is gun and rifle season. But I kind of like bumping those archery guys if I see them, seeing what they're seeing. Alright, what I want to show here. All your camera makers say 4 to 6 foot height. Right there's about 3 foot. I've got this camera set, and I'll show you. I'm 6'4", 6'5". Standing normal. Camera's good. 6 foot, if not just a hair over. And that's just because there's a little bowl right here that I'm in. But what still makes this such a high place of interest, there's a bed. Massive trails of all kinds of different animals throughout all this. Another bed right here, literally right in front of my camera. And I just took a picture of my hand. But this is why a lot of guys wouldn't put a camera here, but I will. There is a definite concern with having a camera like that one. Here's where it's seeing. I'm pointing right at the camera. Well, the tree at least. But any of this higher grass movement, these trees move, that camera triggers. So I get through, on that one I average 150 to 200 pictures per week that I can just scroll through. I might get 15 to 20 average. So 10%. And a lot of it, especially if we've had days where the winds are strong, that camera will trigger all the time. A lot of bird movement. A lot of bird movement. I'm almost betting back in that little, you see kind of where two lines of trees bowl around each other. I'm almost betting there's something there. But this is the most I've seen for bird activity out here in a long while. Which may or may not be a good thing. We just gotta, as we're pulling, we gotta watch. All we're doing now, retracing back where we flushed that deer as we came in. There's a lot of times I'll see it. So all we're doing, is kind of taking a second peek at everything. I don't see anything out there. My guess is what happened was, as we come around this corner here, there's a nice little line right down, and you see this whole length in the gully. My guess is the deer was sitting right here in this big open. My guess is the deer that we flushed this morning, or as we were coming in, was sitting down here in this. As we came around this corner, there's this nice little viewpoint. You see this whole way down, and you see a lot of this back end area. Okay, so what I'm thinking with that deer we flushed as we first came in, what was probably going on is he was sitting back in here in these weeds. I mean, if you look, they don't show real well on camera, but there's pathways all through this. And then as we pulled up, what he probably did, and this is just pure guesswork, was he came up here and then pushed down into this. Just a little bit more coverage, a little bit harder to see. But then, but his ears were wired, so as we came around this corner, and I'll show you the view here. But as we came around this corner, we see right into the bottom of that. And I think he knows that. And just based off of the sound of my footsteps, as we got close, he decided nope and scattered out. And we just caught the tail end of him. I think it was one. It might have been a couple. But I think we just caught the tail end of him visually. Not enough time to put camera up. And truthfully, I don't like walking down in that shit. It's mucky, it's gross. It's nasty walking. Just in case. Now that stuff's starting to set back down in here, we're gonna push it. I know last year I came down here and walked it, and I hit about where this fallen tree is, and multiple deer bailed the hell out. So I'm just, again, this is just kind of exploring, knowing these little back holes. But I don't see anything back here. I wouldn't while it's nicer, I kind of see them pushing out a little more. I don't see the cold really pushing them to come together. Once it really turns cold, I think we'll see a lot more of them grouping up. But, I mean, here's another massive pathway you can see. This one's pretty obvious. But, I mean, yeah, as it gets colder, because we saw it on camera last week, as the heat went down, as the rut turned up. Oh, that's a fresh rub. That is a really fresh rub. Very, very fresh. Okay. Peeled bark, literally, still hanging there. Notice I'm not touching it. But, I mean, good foot long rub right there. Definitely something not shocking. But just want to look through here. Definitely could see something sitting in this grass here. Just enjoying the middle of the summer heat. So, who knows? We'll have to take a look at cameras again. We're flushing deer, which tells me this is the population back in here is getting a lot more solid. But I was going to say, if you notice, we're not really, we're locked into taking a deer out of this. It's about a 4-mile stretch. But the specific area within it, not exactly sure where I want to go yet. I know a couple of times I've seen bow hunters as I come in. I've seen bow hunters sitting right in that little lock there. And it's a fact, I've seen a lot of guys take deer from it. But I don't know. I just am not quite sure where things are gonna flesh out at yet. If it's gonna stay warm, I think we're gonna push that south side a little less. Hit it first thing in the morning. About 10 o'clock, we're gonna move. Do about a 2-mile walk north, hit the north side. And then at a couple hours before dark, we're gonna head back down south. Is the rough game plan. But that's if it stays warm. If it stays cold, I think I'm gonna push more focus on that north side. But the whole time, but yeah, I don't know. we'll see you on the next adventure, which may be hunting days. Because hunting is 3 weeks. So, we'll see you later.